Last Tuesday, a guy described one task to an AI. 40 minutes later, his inbox was clean, his flights were compared, and 3 emails were drafted and waiting for his approval. He didn't write a single line of code. He didn't connect a single API. He typed one sentence. That's it. And what he used is already available to you today. Something changed in late 2025 that almost nobody noticed. Google quietly released a tool that does not just answer your questions, it actually does the work. Not drafts it, not suggests it, does it. And if you have been paying attention to the AI space, you know that is a line nobody has fully crossed yet. Until now. Here is what makes this different from every other AI announcement you have heard this year. Most AI tools are still stuck in the same loop. You ask, it answers, you do the actual work. Gemini Agent breaks that loop. You describe a task. It builds a plan. It executes that plan using your real apps, your Gmail, your Google Calendar, your Drive. And it pauses to check with you before doing anything that actually matters, like sending an email or making a booking. That is not a chatbot. That is something closer to a personal assistant who never sleeps and never misses a step. Now, before you think this is just Google hype, stick with me. Because there is a specific detail about how this thing works under the hood that most people are completely missing, and it changes how you should be thinking about AI tools entirely. We are going to get to that. But first, let me tell you why this moment is bigger than it looks. If you want to actually use AI to save time, not just play with it, not just impress people at dinner, then you need to check out AI Profit Boardroom. It is built specifically for people who want to use tools like Gemini Agent to automate real workflows, cut hours out of their week, and stay ahead of the curve. No fluff, no theory, just the practical systems that work. Link is in the description. Here is the thing most people get wrong about AI agents. They assume an agent is just a smarter chatbot. It is not. A chatbot responds. An agent acts. The difference sounds small. It is enormous. When you type a question into a regular AI, you get text back. When you describe a task to Gemini Agent, it breaks that task into steps, figures out which tools it needs, executes each step in sequence, and checks in with you at the moments that matter. It is the difference between a calculator and an accountant. Gemini Agent runs on Gemini 3.1 Pro, which is currently Google's most capable reasoning model. That matters because the planning piece, figuring out the right order of steps, knowing when to search the web versus when to pull from your calendar, that requires real reasoning, not just pattern matching. And this is where most agent tools have fallen flat in the past. They can do simple one-step tasks fine. Ask them to chain 5 actions together across multiple apps and they start making mistakes. Gemini Agent was specifically designed to handle that chain without losing the thread. The way you access it is straightforward. You need a Google AI Ultra subscription, which is currently rolling out in the US for users 18 and older with English language settings. Once you have it, you open the Gemini web app, look for the agent option in the prompt bar, and describe your task. That is it. No coding, no setup, no connecting APIs. You just describe what you want done like you are talking to a person. Here is the first big thing you need to understand. Gemini Agent does not just run tasks, it shows you the plan before it does anything. That single feature is what separates this from every sketchy AI automation tool you have tried before. You describe a task, it lays out the steps it intends to take, and you can review, edit, or stop it right there before a single action happens. That is not an accident. That is a design choice. And it is a smart one. Take something as ordinary as organizing your inbox. You tell Gemini Agent, clean up my email, archive anything older than 30 days that I have not replied to, and flag anything from my top contacts. It does not just dive in, it shows you the plan. It tells you exactly which emails match each rule. And before it moves a single message, it waits for your green light. Real control, real transparency, and it still saves you an hour. The same logic applies to travel planning, which is one of the places this tool genuinely shines. You describe a trip, say a long weekend in Lisbon in June, and it will search the web for flights, compare hotel options, check your calendar for conflicts, and then draft a full itinerary for your approval before booking anything. It uses deep research, Google's live web browsing capability, to pull real-time results. It is not working from data that is 6 months old. It is searching the same web you would search, just faster and without you having to sit there doing it. And here's the detail that snaps everything into focus. Gemini Agent can access YouTube, Google Maps, and Canvas on top of Gmail, Drive, and Calendar. That means it is not just managing your communications, it is pulling information from the actual web, creating visual documents, and organizing your physical world. That scope is wider than anything a typical productivity app has attempted. Now, let me give you the honest version of this because you deserve it. Gemini Agent is experimental. Google uses that word intentionally. It means the tool is capable, but not perfect. There will be moments where it misreads your intent, creates a plan that is close but not exactly right, or misses context that you would have caught immediately. That is real. If you set it loose on a sensitive task and walk away without reviewing the plan, you are taking a risk you do not need to take. The confirmation steps exist for a reason. Use them. The other honest limitation is access. Right now, this is US only, web only, and requires the Google AI Ultra plan. There is no Workspace version yet, which means if your company runs on Google Workspace, you cannot use this in your work account. It is also not available on mobile yet. Google has confirmed expansion is planned, but planned is not the same as available. If you are outside the US or on a different plan, you are waiting. But here's what that limitation actually tells you. Google is not rushing this. They are rolling it out carefully, testing real usage patterns, and building towards something bigger. The companies that move this carefully at the start tend to move the fastest later. The roadmap points toward more languages, more regions, and deeper model integration. What exists today is the floor, not the ceiling. Step back for a second and think about what is actually happening here. For 2 years, the AI conversation has been dominated by chatbots. Ask a question, get an answer. That model is useful, but it has a hard ceiling. It still requires you to do the work. Every answer you get from a chatbot is the beginning of a task, not the end of one. You still have to take that answer, open your apps, write the email, schedule the meeting, find the flights. The chatbot saves you thinking time. You still spend all the doing time. Gemini Agent is an attempt to compress the doing time. And it is the most credible version of that attempt that has existed in a consumer product. It is not perfect yet, but it is real. It works today for the people who have access, and it is pointing in a direction the whole industry is about to follow. Here is what you probably believed before you watched this video. AI is great for writing and answering questions, but it still cannot actually handle real tasks. That belief is now outdated. The gap between AI that helps you think and AI that helps you act just got a lot narrower. And the people who figure out how to use that gap, who learn which tasks to hand off and how to review the outputs quickly, are going to reclaim serious hours every single week. This is not about replacing how you work. It is about changing where your attention actually goes. Right now, your time is split between thinking and doing. Gemini Agent starts shifting more of the doing to a system that does not get distracted, does not skip steps, and does not forget what you asked. Your job becomes reviewing and deciding, not executing from scratch. The early adopters of search engines did not just find information faster, they made better decisions because they had access to more context. The early adopters of tools like Gemini Agent are not just going to save time. They are going to have more mental space for the work that actually requires a human. That compounding advantage is real, and it starts now, not in a year when everyone else catches up. Here is a question I genuinely want you to answer in the comments. What is the one task in your day that eats the most time but requires the least thinking? Drop it below, because there is a good chance Gemini Agent could handle most of it today. And if you want to go deeper on AI agents and how to actually build workflows around tools like this one, the next video is exactly where to go. Not because it is next in the playlist, because it answers the question this video probably just opened up for you. We started with a quiet release that most people missed. A tool that does not just answer, it acts. That is still what this is. And now you know what it means. If you want the full system, the SOPs, the workflow templates, and access to over 100 AI use cases like this one, join the AI Success Lab. It is free. It is where 67,000 people are already putting tools like Gemini Agent to work in their actual lives. Links are in the comments and the description. Every video note from this one is waiting for you there. And if you want to go beyond the basics and get hands-on with the exact automations that save the most time, AI Profit Boardroom is the place. Built for people who are serious about using AI to work smarter, not just people who like reading about it. Check the description for the link.